So I want to take a minute and talk about EA Sports' Premier League Team of the Season for the 2022-23 season. It just came out, 40-man shortlist. We're going to go through it, position by position, because essentially, I don't know. I mean, there's some questionable people in here, in my opinion. Obviously, there's always going to be omissions that you're just like, how did this person not even make the shortlist? But I'm going to go through it team by, or it's not team by team, position by position, because it's an interesting list. I mean, there are quite a few great selections in here. I'm not going to argue with quite a few of them, but there are definitely ones where I'm just like, I don't know why you guys decided to add this person into this squad. So we're going to start with goalkeepers. Their list is for this season so far is Nick Pope, Aaron Ramsdale, Allison, Bernd Leno, and Kepa, whose last name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. For me, I have no issue whatsoever with Nick Pope, Aaron Ramsdale, Allison, who's been excellent on a very mediocre Liverpool team. But my question is Bernd Leno. Yes, he's got good save percentage. He's made a bunch of saves, sure, and that's great. But does he deserve to be in team of the season? I don't think so. And Kepa, I don't know why. Again, high save percentage. I think actually the highest save percentage in the Premier League, from my understanding. But Chelsea have been shambolic this year. Their defense has been relatively poor. I don't understand why he would be in there. To me, there are some serious omissions in the goalkeeper category. David De Gea has 14 clean sheets. Not to say that he's been phenomenal, but 14 clean sheets, a ridiculous amount of saves. I think 90, 91 saves this year. For me, he is on his day arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Unfortunately, those days are few and far between over the past few seasons. That said, some other people that I think are heavily overlooked in the goalkeeping category are Jose Sa, David Raya, and Ederson, all of whom have quite a few clean sheets, all of whom are really good goalkeepers this season. For me, I would personally take Bernd Leno and Kepa out of this 5-man shortlist for goalkeeping and put in probably David De Gea and David Raya of those two that I said were omissions. I mean, obviously this is debatable. For me, in terms of who should be the goalkeeper for team of the season, I'm going with Nick Pope. I think he's been phenomenal this year in the division's best defense. So for me, that's my selection for goalkeeping. Then we get into defense, and arguably there's not a whole lot of omissions here. I mean, really, there's some that I have, but they have down for their defenders for the team of the season of Gabriel, William Saliba, Kieran Trippier, Sven Botman, Alexander Zinchenko, Thiago Silva, Lisandro Martinez, Ben Mee, Luke Shaw, Christian Romero, and Ruben Diaz. For me, my big question marks of that group is Thiago Silva and Christian Romero. I mean, Tottenham, I honestly don't understand why, besides Harry Kane, there's a single Tottenham player in their team of the season. They've been streaky, non-competitive in so many games, relatively shambolic in a lot of games. And honestly, their inconsistency to me just proves that they shouldn't be anywhere near the team of the season, except for Harry Kane, who's got like 23 goals this year, which, Harry Kane's Harry Kane. But for me, the biggest omissions, and I mean biggest omissions for the defenders, is Nathan Ake, who's been absolutely outstanding this year for Manchester City in that left back role and when he's played center back. Emmanuel Akanji has been a great signing for Manchester City as well. Ben White has been great for Arsenal this year. And then how do you not pick Dan Burn or Fabian Schär from Newcastle, who have been part of the leanest defense in the Premier League with Newcastle? I mean, Thiago Silva is great. I love Thiago Silva. He's one of my favorite defenders. He's just committed, great player, great leader. But again, Chelsea's defense has not been up to scratch this year. And for me, I don't think he deserves to be anywhere near the team this season, nor does Christian Romero. I mean, he's been good this year. I've watched some Spurs games, but I just don't see him being in that above like Nathan Ake, who's been phenomenal, or even a Dan Burn or Fabian Schär, who again have been excellent this year. I don't know. I mean, again, there's going to be omissions every single season. EA Sports, this is their opinion. My opinion is different. I I think that there are definitely some serious omissions and serious question marks on some of these players. So that said, I mean, for me, going to my team this season, I'm going Kieran Trippier right back. I'm probably going William Saliba center back, Ruben Diaz center back, and then left back. I would have said Nathan Ake, but based on this list that they have here, I'm going to have to go with Alexander Zinchenko, who has been great for Arsenal. I mean, why City let him go without getting a replacement is beyond me, although Nathan Ake has fulfilled that role superbly since Cancelo was loaned to Bayern in January. But yeah, again, tough decisions. And again, it's really just a matter of opinion. As we get into the midfielders, there's quite a few in here. They have a huge list. So we're going to go with Martin Odegaard, Kevin De Bruyne, Casemiro, Rodri, Bruno G from Newcastle, whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce. I'd probably butcher it. Alexis McAllister, Paulinho, James Maddison, Solly March, Matoma, Rodrigo Beninker, and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Okay, again, why Spurs players aren't here at all? I mean, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, I mean, he has 8 goal involvements this year, 4 goals, 4 assists. He's a solid player. I like Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He was good at Bayern Munich. He's been good with Spurs. He's solid, but to me, team of the season, no. And then Rodrigo Beninker, he got 5 goals this year. Like, sure, he's been good in the middle of the pitch, yeah, but team of the season, no, not even close, in my opinion. The rest of them I have no arguments with at all. Every one of them have been excellent. Solly March, Matoma, and McAllister, all from Brighton. I'm incredibly impressed with Brighton this year under both Potter and De Zerbi. I think they've been phenomenal and could easily push for Europe. I'm excited to see if that happens. Bruno G in Newcastle, he's like the metronome in their midfield. He's excellent. I love him. Casemiro, I guess, to me would be one that I would maybe pull out of this list. I mean, yes, he's been great when he's played for United. Unfortunately, he's had so many red cards and injuries that he has played not many games. Sure, his presence is missed when he is gone, no doubt. I don't disagree with that. But for me, the biggest omissions in midfield are Thomas Partey and Moses Caicedo from Brighton. To me, I would replace either of Betancourt, Højbjerg, or Casemiro, to be perfectly honest, by Thomas Partey. He's been phenomenal this year again. And Caicedo is just an all-around midfielder, which would bring their conclusion of 4 Brighton players into the midfield category here. But they've been excellent, and he's been phenomenal. He will move to a bigger club, I think, this summer if somebody's willing to stump up like 65 to 70 million pounds, That said, my midfield for the year would have to be Martin Odegaard, Rodri, and probably Kevin De Bruyne with his 15 assists. That said, then we'll get into the forward category. I mean, really, there's not much to say here. I mean, there's a few that I'm just going to be like, I cannot believe you did not add these people. But EA Sports added Erling Haaland, Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane, Gabriel Martinelli, Jack Grealish, Marcus Rashford, Mo Salah, Miguel Almiron, Ali Watkins, Kai Havertz, Riyad Mahrez, and Darwin Nunez. Where to begin with this? I mean, I don't disagree with quite a few of them who've been excellent, but Kai Havertz, whose 8 goal involvements for a very crappy Chelsea team, deserves nowhere near team of the season, and I mean nowhere near. He's arguably, of my opinion, from all the players that he put in this 40-man shortlist, is the one who doesn't deserve it, and neither does Darwin Nunez, and I'll be honest, or Riyad Mahrez for that matter. I mean, Mahrez has been involved in, I think, 10 goals this year. Darwin Nunez involved in 13. I mean, that's great, but those numbers are solid enough. But team of the year, I don't think so. And I love Riyad Mahrez as a Man City fan, and I have respect for Darwin Nunez. I think it took him a little time to get going, but he will be a better player over the years to come. For me, the biggest snub, hands down, is Ivan Toney. The dude has 18 goals in the Premier League. How do you not include that man in the team of the season, even if it's just the short list? I mean, he might not make the final cut, but I mean, how do you not have him in that? And then I'm honestly going to say the other two that are kind of surprised me is Roberto Firmino, who's done excellently with his limited availability this year. And then Gabriel Jesus, same thing, with his long-term injury, but he still has 14 goal involvements this year. Like, how do you not include Gabriel Jesus as well? I mean, it's just, to me, that's a tough one. Ivan Toney, I'm just shocked on. Deserves a whole lot more respect than EA Sports gave him. What I will say is my forwards for this year are Saka, Erling Haaland, and Marcus Rashford. So for me, team of the season, yes, everybody that I have in my team of the season is in this list, but the 40-man short list has some serious omissions that EA Sports really need to answer for, because I don't know who's making these choices here, at least some of them. That said, my team this season: Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier, William Saliba, Ruben Diaz. Based on this, Alexander Zinchenko, Odegaard, Rodri, KDB, and then you've got Saka, Haaland, and Rashford. That's my team of the season based on who they have on this list and just who I personally think was absolutely phenomenal this year. Tell me what you all think.